banana and milk. Okay. Then they go to bed early, don't take anything. Then they get up early, and usually the temple room is like a catastrophe, stuff there. Nobody's there, and so on. So I walk around scraping remnants off the floor and again, picking up, finding stuff. It's usually like, it's very nice. It's fun. It's like you find all this, like, you can save some stuff yourself or somebody saved something for it. It's really fun to go around collecting it. Then Mangala Artik, the Kirtan, and maybe 4 or 5 devotees there. And nice. Then take prasadam, okay, because the sun hasn't come up, so it's not Prabhupada's appearance day yet. It's lawyer. And then fast until noon, recover. But this is Vaidhi Bhakti. Okay, where's it go? Krishna tells the gopis at, where was it? What was the place? Kurukshetra. My bhakti here bhutanam amritat vaya kalpate. I never can remember the rest of it. My bhakti hi bhutanam amritat vaya kalpate. Anybody who does my bhakti is qualified to go to immortality. That's the first phrase. And the second one is, but you have acquired another kind of bhakti, right? And that's the only reason for my coming back to you. Yeah. Very nice verse. Yeah. See, but you develop another kind of bhakti. Yeah. So yeah, just by doing Vaidhi Bhakti, you can go to Vaikuntha. Yeah. But then other things, then to go to Vrindavan, you can only do it through Raganuga Bhakti. Yes, by the mercy of Brijbasi. Have you got the mercy of a Brijbasi? I have. It's not hard. You're on the Brajlana Parikrama, marching along. It's tough. It's really heavy sadhana bhakti. If you can do Lokanath Maharaj as Brajlana Parikrama, you can be an infantry soldier in the German army. Yeah. This is confirmed by infantry soldiers in the German army. Spanish Green Beret, one of our disciples, he said, I told him that, that the German infantry soldiers said this. Is it true? And he said, yes, Green Berets, we did some things that were more intense, like in a moment, like intense running and whatever and stuff. But he said, on a long-term basis, no, we never did anything more intense than this. Walking barefoot every day, carrying your packs and bathing in the bushes and everything else. I noticed for the first few days, the ladies try and keep their eyebrows painted. If they haven't got any eyebrows, they keep those in place and stuff, And the first few days, they try and keep it together. But after 3 or 4 days of having to walk off in the bushes with other ladies with your buckets and stuff, all the women start to look like German infantry soldiers. So it's like that. It's like, all the passion goes away, and it's just we're devotees, and okay, women, men, okay, yeah. It's just, it's very nice. In the first 3 days, Hari Story said he started having a withdrawal. His hands were shaking because he was used to being on the computer all day long. He said, look at my hands are shaking because they, like that. And the 4th day, he started dreaming about rope and dirt, and cows. You start dreaming about the things you're seeing all day, rope, dirt, cows, and stuff. So it's a very interesting experience, Parikrama. Yeah. I'm going here, okay, Vaidhi Bhakti, celebrating these holidays properly. Yeah. Developing Vaidhi Bhakti. Oh, yeah, so everybody can go. Okay, so we're walking the Brajlana Parikrama, struggling along there. I looked off the pathway, not too far away, maybe like, maybe 2 lots or 3 lots. It was a little enclave, maybe like some extended family, a couple houses, and a couple brothers and an uncle and something. Yeah. Two Brijbasis were arguing about something like, okay, you go find the cow. No, you go find the cow. Okay, I got to do this, so I got to do that. Well, okay, I'll go find the cow. And he looked over to me, and it's like clear across this distance, but it was like we got the eye contact, and I was looking at him, and my intelligence was saying, only by the mercy of the Brijbasis can you become a Brijbasi. And I was kind of like looking at him, kind of like looking, can I be a Brijbasi? It was just like, and he went like kind of like, yeah, you can be a Brijbasi, but you got to go find the cow. So yeah, the Brijbasis are not like, cruel guys. They want people to become Brijbasis because there's so much darn work to do with this rascal Krishna that need more people here. So yeah, by following Vaidhi Bhakti, we become purified, and then we're in a position by Prabhupada's mercy, Lord Chaitanya's mercies, to get up to, be a blade of grass. Okay, this is about all I can handle. Blades of grass are important in Vrindavan. You take apart a Mercedes-Benz engine and put it back together and stuff. Okay, and then somebody says, "Oh, is this important?" Take it apart again. You know, like that. Yeah, 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 yeah. After the surgery is over, you count up all the instruments. You know, before you start, you count. Okay, there's 14 instruments. At the end, there's just count up. Doctor, there's only 13. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oops. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, every blade of grass. It's the Rasa Lila. And Krishna and the gopis are trying something completely new, more fantastic than, you know, what do you call it? What's his name? Larry Bird and the Boston Celtics playing basketball. You know, that's why we like these things. There's so much. It's the Ras Lila. So they're trying something completely new, but everybody sees that on the next pass, Lalita is going to miss her step by, you know, one millimeter, and because of that, the whole thing will fall into collapse. The only hope is that the grass can push her, and finally it comes down to one blade of grass. That's it. Oh, Ras Lila depends upon you. Okay. But that's what it is. In Vrindavan, every blade of grass is has a place to play. And learning how to sing in Lord Srila Prabhupada's choir. You know, yeah, learning how to. It's a whole other discussion. And if you're studying improvisational theater, using improvisation for the theater by Viola Spolin, you learn how to listen at the same time you're chanting. You know, so you're chanting, and you're hearing everybody else, and you're seeing how you can fit in. You know, yeah. And the musicians and stuff will appreciate. Oh, really nice and stuff. And you see that there's a percussion note missing there, and you see hit that, and the musician will go, oh, nice. Yeah, because you're building a world out of sound. You know, with the mantra and so on. So yes, we get the mercy of the Brisbasis. Okay. But by Vaidhi Bhakti, by following all the time and place, the rules and regulations, the schedules, the festivals, and Prabhupada says especially, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says especially, Ekadasi and Janmashtami. What other festivals does Prabhupada mention? Fasting on days. Upadeshamrita is so incredible because Upadeshamritas see the same things again and again. This is sufficient. Prabhupada says by controlling the stomach, by fasting on days such as Janmashtami and Ekadasi. You know? And what else do we recommend? Huh? Gaur Purnima. Yeah. Yeah. And the not so much. It's interesting, yeah. And all the incarnation days. You know, the basic principle for incarnation days is half-day fast, usually. Yeah. With some of them, there's a little difference, like Nishingadev is dusk. Yeah. Incarnation days. And then the days of the incarnations of the Acharyas. And then different pastime days, like Govardhan Hill, Govardhan Puja. So they're like a nice selection of. There's one stretch where there's no holidays or something like this. It was in the Sunday, during the January, February or something. Just the period. You know? Dr. Samaresh, he's very, Bengali Brahmin. And he was talking about planning our calendar, and so he asked me, when is Gokulashtami? When is Krishnastami? And I said, but you're not, you're smarter. This and that. He said, yes, but in India, Hanuman Swami, Krishna is everybody's baby. I've always saying that everybody. I was in Mathura one time in a Muslim auto repair place, and they had a calendar up there, and they had the days you tear off. That it had baby Krishna and baby Balaram and little Muslim baby clothes, all dressed up in Muslim clothes like that. Yeah. Yep. Okay, so Krishna's, nobody can escape baby Krishna. He's just too tough. He stops the wars by sitting there smiling at people. They forget to fight. Yeah. Yes, baby Krishna could die on the wall on there. Yes. So anyway, okay, this is enough. There's a very nice book called Moonbeams from a Larger Lunacy. He's a kind of nice American author with some nice like stories, I guess some little bit like mystery stories and that kind of stuff, what attracts people. And he usually has some kind of, has some ethical memorial like that and stuff along with him. It's son of Project Gutenberg. It's out of copyright, but on Amazon.com you can buy copies there. Some of these things are I say it's a classic. If it's out of copyright and you can buy it on Amazon.com, it's a classic. So one of his books is Moonbeams from a Larger Lunacy. So having delivered enough moonbeams from a larger lunacy, are there any questions or comments? We didn't even get to the song today, but we got to Ekadasi. He talks about basically Vaidhi Bhakti. It's a very nice song. These songs you can preach probably to the Janmashtami festival in Radha Damodar. The schedule was there. And he had a reception of the governor, was his friend. And the governor came there. And then as chief guest, then he had 2 Bengali songs and explanations for each one. Then he had words of appreciation by the governor, chief guest, and then prasadam. That was the whole program like that, 2 songs and comments. And I think the governor was Bengali, wasn't he, or something? Right? He was such a Prabhupada or something, because Bengali songs. And Prabhupada said, Puri, sabji, they'll look up, halava and chutney is sufficient for a feast. What 4 things? And chutney. Yeah, okay, so excellent. So if you're Hari Keshavars, at first initiation, you should be able to, second initiation, you should be able to cook kitri, halava, and make lassi. That's for second initiation. All second initiation devotees should be able to make kitri, halava, and lassi. So I'm sure when you come to the next one, puri, sabji, okay, it's kitri, halava, Chutney is basically fried fruit, right? You just fry the fruit and put in some little pepper, a little salt, okay, some sugar, okay, that's it. We have a cookbook, Tom. It's called Bachelor Beans. It's like Tom Brown's cookbook. Yeah, it's brutal. Baked potatoes. Can make cheesecake. You go to the store, you buy a can of condensed milk. Call it Philadelphia cream cheese. Mix them up. You buy one of these pie shells. Yeah, they're not cooked. You put it in the oven, cook it, put the stuff in there. And they also have strawberries. It's interesting. They have these bachelor things. You can buy these pie shells, and then you have the cans of fillings. It's like you don't have to get married. Bachelor. It'd be a little. I look at the ingredients. There's no meat or anything in them. I haven't tried it yet. It seems like you make your cheesecake and okay. Wow. Yes. In Peru, they have the girls. It's a popular T-shirt. Maybe you saw it in Peru. Yeah. No boyfriend, no problem. Ladies, solution. Brahmacharis for life. United. Okay, comments or questions? Oh yeah. Pandava Nirjala Ekadasi. Yeah. There's apparently no, we didn't do it. Kind of we did it. I think there's someone. Oh yeah. And if you broke it, it's fine. It's like not what Bhanu Swami finally went through, I think, a whole research thing on it. And there's nothing to really, I think, to what is it, to certify it as a Gaudiya Vaishnava holiday that you have to do this or anything else like that. And so there's a whole discussion about it, because we probably this year we didn't do it exactly. And later on, okay, you must fast on this day and so forth. Nirjal and so I think that's the research on it. But if there's it's no, if it helps you, there's no problem. That's the whole point of Ekadasi, is to how you can increase your hearing and chanting. It's also good for your health too. So, koi prashna hai from our local audience here. You also have 13 people online. Okay.
I have one question.
Okay.
So what is the best thing to do in Brahma Muhurta? It's giving like Mangalarati, chanting holy name, or Kirtana, or reading any scripture.
Okay. Ask over here. Anybody know what I'm thinking of?
Yes.
What are we thinking of? as an answer, as an example of this, of what to do during Brahma Muhurta.
I say waking up.
Why don't roosters have any money?
They don't have pockets.
Because they've been cursed by Rukmini, the goddess of fortune. And you see, that's why roosters don't have money. This is Tom Brown's conclusion. Okay, the Lord Krishna's daily activities. Okay, and so then the Brahma Muhurta came, and the roosters began to crow, and then Krishna got up, right? And Prabhupada said, this is the example for Grihastas. No matter how comfortable you are being embraced by your affectionate wife, you should get up. Okay. Yeah. And Rukmini didn't like this, so she cursed roosters. She cursed the roosters and stuff. So you see, roosters have no money. Logic according to Brahma. And then Krishna, he washed his hands and feet, didn't take his bath, and but sat down to meditate on himself. Okay. The Prabhupada said Krishna has no choice. Because if you meditate on Brahman, Paramatma, or Bhagavan, he's all three of those. He said, but we should meditate on Krishna, on Radha Krishna, by chanting Hare Krishna. So that's basically it. We should have nice, simple deities, Radha Krishna, okay, Gauranga. And then the Gurvastika is like kind of like a declaration. Here we're coming before Radha and Krishna. It's a very confidential moment. The daytime, they're already dressed up and ornaments and all these things. But in Brahma Muhurta, they're in very simple dress like that. So it's a very intimate time to be able to come there, okay, and to be able to see them and sing and chant for them at that time nicely so they're happy. Very rare. How are we qualified? Well, because we're worshiping, a qualified spiritual master. So chanting the Gurvastika, learn the word by word meaning for the Gurvastika, and then do kirtan, chanting for Radha Krishna. Okay. And then while they're having their bath and everything else on the altar, the pujaris, I used to be a pujari in Berkeley sometime. Everybody was lined up. The second the doors closed, wham, open the curtain closed, you had to be on the altar, had to pull the altar, clean the altars, pull the altars back, take the small deities off, undress the big deities, bathe them, decorate them, everything else, and clean up the cloth, And what you did doesn't look good, so you got to start over again. The timing's running out. And then finally it's time for the offering. Everybody's dragging people off like that. And you hear everybody when they come off, everybody goes, it's like you haven't been breathing. It's a very concentrated meditation. So it's very nice, the second initiation. And then it's like the altar is like, Dwapara Yuga or something. It's not like, off the altar you can think bad thoughts about devotees and stuff. But on the altar, if you think a bad thought about a devotee, you smash your knee against the altar or you stick a pen through your finger. It's like, you've got to be. And being in Vrindavan is like being on the altar 24 hours a day. Everything you do is think some bad thought, everything attacks you, the rocks attack you. It's like, so that's chanting Hare Krishna. And that's enough. That'll take you all the way to the loka. You don't have to take second initiation formally, but informally you'll come to that consciousness. And then other than that, it's nice. And you can engage in the deity worship in your house on the altar. So chant Hare Krishna, and then, the whole purpose of doing the deity worship is chanting prayers and hymns and praising the Krishna, and then Shringartik. Okay? Enough light to read, you just read a book. Okay. So any other? Here we have, our attendees are 108. Abhinandan Arjuna, caller number 1. Carlos Roll, Chitra Gopi Mendoza. Eka Chakra Nitai Chandra Das. Abhi Jayapataka Maharaj ki jai. Estefania Jaya Haridas, who's going to come and meet us in Boise. Not Boise. He was there, but in Boise, remember? Yeah, okay. Kama Gayatri Dasi, okay. Lakshmanagraja Raman Reti Makachili. Chintamani Devi Dasi and Vrishabhananandani and Ambarish Das. Cinematographers. So I want to thank everybody, I guess, and now maybe stopping on time here. We'll chant Hare Krishna. and be happy forever. Haribo! Haribo! You know, I'm not talking to my
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Muchas gracias, Maharaj. Toda la gloria es la Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Nobody's
Hare
showing their
Krishna.
camera.
Yeah.